monitoring that. And then we will also put some efforts on understanding technology and how technology can be coupled with HR analytics. And for that, we will be doing that for 2 weeks. For this week, for next week, you will be doing that about thinking about how technology can be used in the HR area, not only during the lectures, but also during the seminars. More about that later. Okay, so very quick recap of what we have been doing from the last 2 weeks. It's mainly about, how to deliver business values, how to stress, the strategic importance of your HR analytics function in the company. So now we are not talking about, the consultancy for other companies. We are talking about, internal consultants or internal, HR professionals. So how to really deliver the business values to the stakeholders. So we have this, what we call HR value chain. And you can see there are some HR processes, which are the antecedents of a lot of performance outcomes, or something like attraction, development, satisfaction, so engagement, satisfaction, their well-being outcome, and their parts in the end lead to productivity or turnover, this very important business outcome. So when you make a case, when you make the final assignment, when you make the final presentation, what you need to stress is that what you want to do is you want to increase the business outcomes, and by developing or redeveloping or reconfiguration your HR process, you are able to deliver the business value, higher business values. So we know that, and also we learned that from the guest lecture, we learned that from the previous lecture, that typically the people analytics team is multifunctional or in terms of backgrounds, different team members of the people analytics team, typically they are from a bit different academic background, right? So some of them are more consultants, some of them are data scientists, some of them maybe psychologists or sociologists, as our distinguished guests. They are more from a social science, background, just like me. So we have people from different background. What do you think can be the drawbacks of having a team where people are coming from a bit different academic background? And do you have a solution to that? Yes?
Having different languages, like not, of course, like human languages, but having different academic languages that everyone has learned and not having a common ground to speak to each other with.
Yeah.
And a solution for this, I suppose, would be like learning more about each other's academic disciplines.
Yeah. Yeah. So exactly. So we speak different academic knowledge, academic language, and you kind of have a different priority. If you are economics, you are more focused on, cost effectiveness. And if you are a social scientist, maybe you care more about employee well-being. Maybe you care more about, the internal functions of these different departments. So you have different priorities. At the same time, how to address that? Indeed, you can just like know each other a bit better, just like working in your team, right? You know each other a bit better, understand where they are coming from, but at the same time, maybe also to make it's working together, like teamwork, but also everyone have different specialization. Everyone will be assigned different tasks that are more aligned with their, academic background. So because of this, very different background, also because the aim of HR analytics team, right, is always serving the business, right, trying to create business values. Right? But if you are only a data scientist, it's very difficult. If you're trained very well in technology, you might be lacking a little bit of this abilities to deliver to your stakeholders, to deliver the business values, right? Because you spend so much time in your training program on doing this coding, on doing programming. So of course, someone can have both programming skills and business, business sensitivity, but it might be a bit difficult because you are kind of different specialized. So what we have there for a solution is also what we call HR analyst, translator. So they are the translator between the data science solution, the solution from HR analytical team, and the business owner, the stakeholders. So they are really talking about, they are the consultants, but they are more like internal consultants, and they are kind of the bridge, if you may think about the bridge between business and HR analytics team, right? The bridge to connect the demands and connect the values from both engines. So Typically, these are the case of Royal Caribbean cruise. I don't know whether you have taken their cruise. I have taken once. Amazing experience. I really like the cruise experience, especially in Mediterranean Sea. That is really nice. But they actually also have a function in people analytics, right? And there you can see that how they divided different, roles. There are people more responsible for reporting and for advanced analytics, so they are more like from a data science background. And there are also people from, product development and management. So as Elias also talked about, it's very nice if you are consultants internally or externally to have a deliverables, to have a product, right? Send out to your manager, right? Send out to the other people in your team or in the company, right? If you have a product, if you have developed something, then it's easier for you to make a case that you deliver a lot of values. If you do not have this, products or do not have the softwares or dashboards, then people wonder, what are you doing? You have been around for 2 years, but what's your, working? What's your product? What's your outcomes of your 2 years in the company, right? So the strategy of a lot of people analytics team is they're trying to deliver something concrete. I give you software, I give you a dashboard, I give you something that's an Excel spreadsheet, so you can work on, right? So there is something concrete to you. It's not like a solution. It's a solution is nice, abstract, it's nice, but I give you something that is very concrete and you can see my value immediately. So that's why they have also this team, like global product delivery management team, and trying to deliver something, concrete products to the stakeholder, to the business units. But most of them are actually these advisors, right? So these advisors are really, they are the bridge, and they are really talking with the customer. The customer is internal customer, internal, business manager, and trying to understand what are the needs. And from these needs, they're trying to build up. So they send the needs to the HR analytics team, and this HR analytics team trying to develop some kind of products and going back to the business to see whether you like our product or whether you think we need to improve our products. So they are really the bridge between, the advanced analytics and, product development, and between, the business units. My question to you is that what are the benefits to having this, translator, this bridge, these advisors? Why do you need them? Why it's, good for the working or for the value of HR analytics? Why do we need them? Why couldn't we just like fire all of them? Why do we need people to be a bridge, to be a consultant, to be an advisor? Yeah, exactly. So it's better communication, right? And if you are working with a business manager for a very long time, you already know each other very well. So it's also easily to build a trust between each other. And maybe one advisor will be serving one special unit, business unit, or one special function. So they also know what the business needs are from a long-term perspective. So not only for this project, but also from a long-term perspective, I understand a bit better about what you are doing as a marketing team versus as a sales team or versus an R&D department, right? So different departments they have very different business needs. So if you have an advisor, you can build long-term understanding and the long-term, trust relationships there. So long-standing relationships with your partners, and also you kind of have a better sense from your business knowledge and know which project should be prioritized. So the chances are you receive so many different requests from different parties. All of them are like VPs. All of them are very important. So you don't know how to hold back and which one you need to prioritize. So the idea of having this advisor is that because they have a very strong sense of the business value, so they can decide which one I should working on right now and which one maybe I should postpone a bit. So these are also the benefits of having these advisors. Okay, so these are about the HR analytics team and the benefits and why do you need to have advisor and translator and consultants in between. Now we talk a little bit of workforce experience because I am a psychologist and it's very important for us to care about the well-being of your employees. Short survey, which activities of work do you consider to be a part of the workforce experience or employee experience? So when you are talking about employee experiences, what are we actually talking about here? What factors or what kind of, constructs is actually mentioned? Yeah?
Regarding to the activities, maybe like the working meetings, work calls and stuff like this.
Work what?
Work calls.
Course, yeah. So whether you are able to, you have the freedom to have meetings, or whether you have a very tight schedule that you cannot have more meetings. Something else that's also talked about by Elias as well, about their experience.
Maybe interpersonal relationships.
Interpersonal relationships, whether you are trusted by your colleagues, whether you can trust your colleagues, right? Your identification with your team as well. So exactly. So these are more the formal definition, doing things with and for your employees. Yeah. So not to them. So to like really care about their own thinking, their own feeling, their own attitudes. Basically, a lot of them are about their internal feeling, like psychological feeling. You have a lot of variables in your data set is about this exploring employee experience, like their satisfaction, their engagement, their identification, their trust, these kind of things. So they are really true experience. They are psychological experience when they are in the company, in the team, and working there. How do you feel? You like it or you don't like it? Something like that. Okay? So these are about employee experience. Why is it important to understand, right? Why, if I'm the owner, I care about the business value. I want to drive my company into the stock market. But why do you also need to care about the employee?
The employee works better, is more efficient.
So in the end, you will have better business values. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So long-term perspective, right? So first keep you happy, and then maybe you will do something good for me. Yeah. Something else? Yeah, to keep the retention rates low. Like the study there, right? If you're happy, probably you don't want to move. One more.
Maybe like advertising of the company, like kind of how the company attracts employees.
Yeah, so branding and image. Yeah, so to see, for example, Xiao was a very good company for employees. So then you can attract more talent. Increase retention and reputation exactly about the company, creates a very positive culture so that you have more engagement, you have more productivity, you create more things, and in the end, it's also serving me better, right? In the end, it's always serving you better. And maybe improve employee well-being for the sake of itself, right? You want people to be happy in the world, right? You want your family to be happy, but you also want strangers, everyone in the society to be happy. Right. So also increase inclusivity and positivity. So, basically to create a better